All right, let's talk about something we all do, but maybe don't really understand sleep. Have you ever really thought about what's going on in your head after you close your eyes? Most of us think of it as just powering down, right? Your body and brain just kind of switch off. But what if I told you that's not what happens at all? What if, for your brain, going to sleep is really like clocking in for a second, super important shift? I mean, that's the common wisdom, isn't it? The second you fall asleep, your brain flips into standby mode, just waiting for that morning alarm to jolt it back to life. A total shutdown, just passive rest for a few hours. Well, think again, because the science tells a completely different story, and honestly, it's way more fascinating. Your brain doesn't shut down. No way. It's actually just getting started on a whole checklist of critical jobs that can only happen while you're asleep. This isn't rest in the way you think of it. It's a super active period of maintenance and organization. So how does this second shift actually work? It's not just some chaotic, random process. It is an incredibly structured routine. It's a biological rhythm that your brain follows all night long. And this rhythm, it's the fundamental beat of all that's nightly work. We call it the sleep cycle. And the key number you need to remember for that rhythm is 90. That's right, 90 minutes. Your entire night's sleep is basically built around repeating these 90-minute loops over and over again. Most people go through, 4 to 6 of these cycles every single night. But here's the thing, a sleep cycle isn't just one continuous state. It's actually a journey through a bunch of different stages. You go from kind of dozing off down into deep sleep and then back up again. And every single one of those stages has its own very specific, very important job to do. So what's job number one on this nightly to-do list? Well, think of it like the brain's specialized deep cleaning crew coming on duty. See, while you're busy all day, your brain cells are working hard. And just like any hard work, it creates waste. This really breaks down the difference perfectly. Your daytime brain, it's all about focusing outward, processing everything you see, hear, and think. But that process creates toxic gunk, like beta amyloid, a protein that's been linked to Alzheimer's disease. But then at night, your brain completely shifts its focus inward. It turns on this amazing waste clearance system that literally flushes out those harmful toxins, leaving your brain clean and ready to go for the next day. Okay, so the brain is all clean. What's next on the list? Well, once the cleaning crew has finished up, your brain puts on a totally different hat. It becomes this meticulous librarian, and its job is to organize the huge library of information you picked up during the day. Now, this isn't just about stuffing things onto a shelf. It's a really sophisticated process. Your brain sifts through all your experiences from the day and figures out what's actually important. Then it takes those key memories from your fragile short-term storage and carefully files them away in the more secure long-term archive. This is exactly how we learn things and lock in new skills, whether you're studying for a big exam or practicing guitar. But the brain's job isn't just about cleaning and filing. It's also about feeling. And that brings us to maybe the most mysterious and active part of the whole night, REM sleep. That's rapid eye movement, which is the stage where most of our dreaming happens. REM sleep is such a paradox. On one hand, your body's muscles are pretty much paralyzed, but your brain, it is absolutely on fire. It's called rapid eye movement because your eyes are literally darting back and forth. Neurologically, your brain can be just as active, maybe even more active than when you're wide awake. It's just a hive of activity, and this is where our emotions get processed. So why all this buzzing activity? Well, a lot of scientists think it's for our emotional health. In a way, dreaming is like a form of overnight therapy. It lets us replay the emotional events of the day, but it kind of strips away the stress and the anxiety from them. This helps keep our moods balanced and gets us ready to face the next day with a much clearer head. So let's recap. We've got a cleaner, a librarian, and a therapist, all hard at work inside our heads while we're totally unconscious. It's an incredible amount of work, which, of course, leads to the big question. Why does this whole nightly routine matter so much? What's the real-world payoff for us? And here's the bottom line. All of that hard work your brain does at night translates directly into your waking life. When you let your brain complete its entire second shift, you will literally wake up with all these benefits. Your focus is sharper, your mood is more stable, your ability to learn and remember stuff is way better, and you have a physically cleaner, healthier brain. This stuff isn't a luxury, It's essential, non-negotiable maintenance. Which brings us to a final thought. After knowing what's really going on behind the scenes, it kind of reframes the whole idea of going to bed, doesn't it? So the next time you lie down to rest, ask yourself this. Are you just switching off for the night? Or are you switching on your brain's essential team to actively build a better you for tomorrow?